Get the thumbs up over there. Okay, I'll call to order the regular meeting of Tuesday, December 27th, 2022. I ask all who have not signed in, please do so. Please turn off all cell phones and other electronic devices. Please conduct any private conversation in the hallway or outside. This meeting room is equipped with the inductive loop hearing assistance system. You'll be able to hear conversations through the microphones on hearing aids with a T switch. Emergency exits can be found to your right and to your left. And please note this meeting is also live streamed via YouTube with text commenting available. So at this time, if you please join the town board in a salute to the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag. Okay, a few announcements. I wish to declare Deputy Town Supervisor Dave Condon and Councilperson Drew Cusimano necessarily absent this evening. We do have 4 employees celebrating their birthdays in the month of January. And we'll start off first with the 11th, Robert Graham and Tammy Viana. On the 12th, Lisa Boughton and Kim Kinsella on the 19th. All town operations will be closed next Monday, January 2nd. Reminder to review the town's website for the latest news, announcements, newsletters, and recreational offerings. Residents can sign up to have newsletters emailed directly to your email box if you choose to. On January 9th, our next town board meeting will begin at 6:30 p.m. This will be our annual organizational meeting and followed by our regular meeting at 7 p.m. I want to wish all of our residents, those here physically and those watching via YouTube, Happy New Year to everyone. Okay. This time, we have a public hearing. We'll ask our clerk to please read the public hearing notice.
Notice of public hearing, utilization of Community Development Block Grant Funds final report, scheduled for the 27th day of December at 7 o'clock in the Victor Town Hall, was published in the Daily Messenger newspaper on December 16th, and a copy was also posted on the signboard of the Town Hall, Victor Village Hall, and our website.
Thank you very much. So I'll ask the public if there's anyone here from the public that care to speak for or against the Seed Community Development Block Grant final report. Again, I ask if there's any members of the public care to speak for or against the Community Development Block Grant final report. I do want to thank the committee members, and I know our Councilman Ed Kohovic, also Director of Finance, Rich O'Donnell, excuse me, as well. And I know Kathy's not here. Unfortunately, she's under the weather as well, but certainly appreciate everything Kathy did. And then assistance with Lobello Associates as well. So,
if I could just make a quick comment, I thought it was well organized, well orchestrated. We applied for the grants, then sent it out to the community. The community had to come back and reply with a whole bunch of information. And between Labella, Kathy, Gina, they helped them walk through that process. Once the local group approved whoever we wanted, when they met all the criteria that they were approved to be forwarded, they went to New York State, and then New York State made the grants. After receiving the grants, the local businesses that I talked to were very, very appreciative. And a couple of them even mentioned to me the fact that without that, they probably would not be here in Victor today. So I think it was very important, the process we went through, to enable them to get some funding to help basically recover from COVID. So well done.
great point, Councilman. Appreciate your feedback and involvement. Yes, I had the opportunity to deliver a few of those checks, and they said it was a game changer, the difference between closing and staying open.
If I could add just one little thing there, there's a lot of people with us that were very unsure of the process and what they had to do, and we walked people through the process we got the grants. Not only that, but we allowed people to, we helped them with the paperwork and stuff that was involved to do that. So they were stepping outside their zone to just help people to go through the paperwork process and what was going on. So that was a big thing. That was just a added thing we did. So Kathy's office did a great job with that.
Very good. Well, you're absolutely, it's too bad she's not here to hear that, but she did a lot, so thank you. At this time, motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And approval of minutes. This would be for the December 12th, 2022 regular town board meeting. I'd like to offer the approval of these meeting minutes.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And when she's ready, we'll ask our clerk to introduce manifest number 24.
Manifest 24 for 2022 in the amount of $502,834.91 has been reviewed by the Victor Town Board with the following accounts charged: General Townwide, General Outside Village, Parkland Trust Fund, Highway Townwide, the lighting districts of Fishers, Brookwood Meadows, High Point, Cobblestone, Coil Ridge, Rolling Meadows, Stone Lay, and Legacy at the Fairways, and S&S Consolidated Sewer Fund.
Thank you very much. And up on the big screen is manifest number 24, which has identified expenditures that are in the range of or exceed $5,000, starting with payment number 1 to American Rock Salt. Next, Bluestone Creek Development, January rents. Daxco Piping, the first draw on Pump Station 7 improvements. Payment to Hometown Energy for unleaded fuel. Payment to LaBello Associates, this would be for the Adam Street study and the CDBG administrative costs as well. Next, payment to Lehigh Hanson Road Repair Stone. And next is a Marathon Engineers for the Dog Park Survey mapping. Payment to the New York State Comptroller for the November court fees. And then payment to RG&E for December town utilities and street lighting districts. The total of the above-mentioned expenditures is $454,171.24. Total town expenditures minus the previous mentioned expenditures equals $48,663.67. Board members, any question on this evening's abstract? Hearing none, and entertain a motion to the approval of.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. This time, privilege of the floor has been granted to our town historian, Babette Huber.
I haven't retired yet.
That's a good thing.
Good evening. Hope you had a nice Christmas. As you know, the Landmark Society is going to start a barn survey next month. And as the town historian for 2 years, I feel that educating the community about Victor's history is the most important part of my job. Last month or month before, Larry Keefe, who is a Victor resident and a Victorite, he's a native, was putting up his art exhibit. And I noticed that there was a barn painting there, and we talked about it, and he talked about remembering when I did a Barnes program a few years ago. And then my head started to go. Barnes survey, well, why not ask Larry, who's a teacher of watercolor painting at the Memorial Art Gallery, to have some of his students paint some of Victor's barns? And he said that sounded like a great idea. And actually, he has more of the people that he teaches than we have space for to do these paintings, which I thought was quite, I mean, he put this email out, and within 15 minutes, there were like 10 or 12 or 14 people interested. Then Bob Kelly, who does the historic lecture series, said, you know, I need somebody to do programs next year. So I volunteered to do one on Victor and its barns. Then we had a meeting, the Landmark Society and I had a meeting with the stakeholder committee a couple of weeks ago for the barns survey. And their task was to just give input. How do we get this message out to the community? How do we make people who own barns feel comfortable about this survey and what we're doing? And as we talked, this notion of a celebration of barns became more viable. So the members of the stakeholder committee are going to be helping the Landmark Society and myself get out the word electronically, as well as Susie. And so we started with a survey. Now we're going to do watercolor paintings, and we're going to do a lecture, and hopefully we'll do those together. We're going to do a display in one of the display cabinets. And I have Alice Hunt. If you don't know Alice Hunt, she used to be the town clerk, to blame for this. Because whenever she thought history was so important for the people of Victor to know about and to continue to know about. So whenever I thought of something to do, Alice would like say, well, then we should do this, we should do this, we should do this. So here we are. I'm also thinking about doing a book on the Barns of Victor, just a small one. And so what started out as a simple barns survey has blossomed into a community learning event about its agrarian history. And I hope you will all join us next year as we celebrate what's left of our Victor barns. And if you have any other ideas for me, I'm here. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Babette.
Any questions?
That's exciting.
I'd like to, I have some knowledge. Larry Keefe's a cousin of mine. I would like to volunteer if you need me in any way to help with that committee. And I have somewhat of a pretty good knowledge of a lot of the barns that have been talked about, so I'd like to offer up. I mean, I know that what we talked about before was quite a big expenditure, but in another way, if we can branch out in different ways, if I can help you in any way, I'll volunteer to gather information, reach out to people. I know Larry Keefe has probably 2 family barns within town off of Victor Egypt Road that were part of that survey,
Right.
as well as ours, and so I have an interest in it, and whatever I can do to help you, I'd volunteer to do that. Just let me know, contact me personally, and I'll do that.
Thank you. I also want you to know that a letter will be sent out next Monday to all the barns owners. We're going to have our general meeting here on January I believe it's the 18th. And we are also hoping to do it not only in person, but virtually, so that if people can't get here, because, a lot of people are older that have these barns, and they don't like to come out at night, that they can get on and see the presentation and also be able to ask any questions that they want that night, too. Thanks.
Thank you again, Babette. Okay, at this time, I'll ask if there's any public comments or concerns before the board. Do you have anyone with you? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Are there any other comments? Okay. In your packet, board members, are reports of town officials. We have, let's see, Highway, IT, our town engineer. Any questions?
No, just a couple quick comments. The Conservation Board meeting previously scheduled for January 3rd has been canceled because they didn't have anything that they needed to work on. So just so everybody knows that, because that's prior to our next town board meeting. And I'd also like to recognize Mark Years and the group down at the Highway Department with the wind. I know personally I called Mark twice because the street that borders my house had 2 trees on 2 separate occasions fall down within an hour maybe of each other. Where he came, they cleared one tree, literally must have gotten maybe back to the barn or to the next tree issue, and then I had to call again because another tree had been knocked over by the wind. And I know that, I asked Mark earlier, they had addressed 8 or 10 of them throughout the day. So, we didn't get quite the weather that Buffalo did, but that wind was pretty intense, and it was intense enough to cause them to have to go out and deal with some other things. So, job well done as always, Mark. Thank you.
Flying trash cans and recycling. A lot of the refuse companies, I think they took that day off, and if you had any secrets, your neighbor 10 houses down now has them, so.
Well, and the guys were open Christmas Eve morning there, and it was really brutally cold, and they were out there, and however they did it, they had their happy faces on, they were doing a great job, and so kudos to them for working that recycle station Saturday morning, so.
Board members, you did get an email from me today with the report from the Humane Society for the Dog Control Services. Remember the last board meeting?
Yeah, saw that. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for following up on that, Karen. A couple things that I have, I mentioned it, something we did last year, but I want all board members and our town clerk to take a look at 2023, their time off, vacation plans, things like that, and so we can create a calendar so we know when we have a quorum, or maybe we have a quorum, won't have a quorum, I guess would be the proper word. And in your mailboxes, you should have received a copy of this year's Town 2022 Town Board Liaison assignments. I know Councilman Kohovic and I had spoken. If that Conservation Board meeting had taken place, he was willing to attend it, and I know he'd like to continue in that capacity for 6 months, I think is what he told me as well. So, but if, my point is Councilman Guinan as well, Councilman Kohovic, and I'll reach out to the other 2 board members, but if there's any changes you'd like to make, and feel free to let me know. In addition, at your place setting, or maybe I also sent it out to you as well, I think it's the new exemptions. There was a memo, actually Marlene sent it out to us, and this has to do with the new exemption for the volunteer firemen and ambulance workers as well. So again, if it's just the town of Victor that takes action, it's a small savings. What you need is county, school district to take action as well. And I know the county's going to take it up for consideration when we get into 2023, probably towards the latter part of January. In addition, I had provided at your place setting just an update on the recent results of a task force for the Sheriff's Department, taking a look at the 911 center. And then finally, some good news, the DEC, I had sent it to you today, but there's also hard copies as well regarding the Modoc Springs sand and gravel. An announcement that it has actually been reclassified. My understanding, though, we will continue. I think we had a 10-year commitment, ourselves and Syracuse Sand and Gravel, to pay into the fund for the Value Protection Fund, so we will continue to do that. But it's good news for homeowners, and I know back in 2009, 2010 was when the Department of Health said the best thing that could happen for that plume area was the more it rains and the more it snows, it will just go away, and that seems like that has occurred here. So that's all I have, and I thank all of you for your updates. And we will move to the business section of this evening's agenda, starting with our first resolution. And again, Susie, to the question by the resident, this resolution itself identifies all those recipients of this money. Board members, any question on resolution number 1? Appreciate your comments on the public hearing. If there are none, I'll offer this as a motion to approve.
Second.
Yep, first, Councilman Kohovic. I don't want to wear the two councilmen to my left and right out by doing that. I want to share the. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, resolution number 2. Again, want to thank our highway superintendent for reacting to the requests of the residents off of East Victor Road. This has to do with a petitioning the state of New York for a, hopefully, a change in the reduction in the speed limit.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Number 3, this is the purchase of a 2023 Marathon Ramjet RJ 325 for the recycling department.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Very good. Number 4, 2023 agreement for the expenditure of highway monies. This is New York Highway Law, Section 284, and that's what it's actually termed many times as the 284 agreement. So this is presented, this outlines, and actually, maybe I didn't get it. Board members, you have, maybe it's electronically, I'll get it, Schedule A. Maybe electronically it's there. Okay. And,
I see the resolution, but I don't see the Schedule A behind it.
Mark, if we could get, we need to get that from Casey then.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she sent it over, but I'll make sure it gets over there. Pretty sure it was sent over.
No, and I feel bad asking.
No.
Now, so pull the resolution and,
I think it really, you should be pulled and, just. Exactly. We'll do it at the organizational meeting then. Okay, number 5. This is the appointments and reappointments of the number of following residents to boards and committees, and certainly we have some new faces, new individuals, which is great. I think we're still probably, I think the Board of Assessment Review may be one other one, but some new chairs as well, so I think this is wonderful. Probably more openings than we've had in quite some time. As always, I want to thank residents for their interest in serving, and because time is valuable, for sure. So, board members, any questions? Hearing none, motion to make these appointments and reappointments.
second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Number 6, 2023 agreement with Mercy Flight for emergency services.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Number 7 is the 2023 agreement with the Victor Farmington Ambulance Corporation. And I do need to follow up with them and have a conversation about this dollar amount and what this dollar amount may be looking like in the future as well. That's on me.
Okay. So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Number 8 is the agreement with the Barn Door Events, community events. You'll recall we actually started this in April of last year and really wanted this contract to coincide with a number of contracts that we have. And again, unfortunately Kathy's not here as well, but I know Kathy worked with HR and finance to put this together. And a slight change from last year, but certainly the intent is the same. Any questions?
Rich, you're happy with it, right? Fine with me, so, second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Number 9, this is the 2023 fuel contracts with the Village of Victor, Village Fire District, and the Victor Farmington Ambulance Corps.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And number 10 is the approval to enter into agreement with Express Credit Card Company for the purpose of tax collection beginning January 1st. Is this a new
new, right?
concept?
Yes. What's happened is, we've gone with a new system for collecting taxes. The county's using Systems East, so we're using Systems East, and they weren't compatible with what we, credit card.
Okay. Thank you.
Anyone seen this agreement?
What'd you say?
Has anyone seen the agreement? The proposed agreement with Systems East?
No. This is, the county has that as well?
Yes, that's it.
I don't think they'd steer us in the wrong direction, but, okay. With that said, I'll offer this for approval.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And again, public comment. Anyone here this evening care to offer a comment to the town board? Susie? No? Okay. Well, at this point, motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Again, Happy New Year to everyone.
Thanks, you too. Take care.
Thank you, sir.
You too.
Thank you. Bless you too.